What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of the Fit and Healthy Sioux Falls Show. I have an awesome guest sitting here next to me, which I'm going to introduce soon, talking about making drinks without alcohol that are still fun to have and have you having a good time with Mockies Mocktails. Let's dive into today's episode. Well, Dustin, what's up, man?
Not much. How are you today?
Dude, I'm so good. I just think life has been wild lately.
Yep.
I met you about a month ago, I would say.
Yep.
I had randomly got invited to a Amy Stockburger home support team. I think it was like a networking group.
Yeah, a little mixture that they have.
Yeah. And so I met you there. And we got to talking. I told you that I owned a Fit Body Boot Camp and that I have a health and fitness podcast. And we got to talking, and you're like, well, man, I'm starting a new business.
Yep.
Because you were exiting a business that you had grown.
Yep.
What was the business that you were in?
Pet waste removal. So I was running Poo Burglars at the time.
Okay.
And then starting and transitioning over to Mockies.
Yeah.
So,
which I think just business and entrepreneurship and all the different stuff is wild. And as you and I were talking a little bit before the show, you definitely have your different obstacles that you go through.
Yep.
And you're going through a little bit of one right now as you're getting the trailer ready to go, because you haven't had an event yet, correct?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Working on it. Have one soon, but we're getting there.
Okay. So explain to me, for one, and then our audience, what is Mockies Mocktails and Taps?
All right. So what it is a mobile bar.
Okay.
We're going to operate it like a food truck, but then we're also going to be a private event bartender for you if you need. And then we also have a tap trailer, which is a 1968 Chevy pickup bed that I restored myself into a 4-tap trailer that we're going to have available for rent. And then we also have another one that I'm currently working on.
Really?
So another 4 or so.
So what is a tap trailer?
So what that is,
I'm going to move this here real quick. Right there. Okay, go ahead.
So what that is like, if you go to a bar, your typical taps on the wall or something, if you go downtown Severn's Brewing or any of those, we'll have that available for you. Just we could pull it out to your yard or your event. Some buildings you could get it into.
Yeah.
We have a jockey box set up, so you don't have to have electricity. We have a battery pack. On the back of that Chevy trailer is actually a photo booth.
Oh, cool.
So I put the greenery up, the grass wall or whatever you call it, and then a little neon sign. We have one right now. We'll have more.
What's the one neon sign say that you have right now?
Good times. I think it's good times only or something like that.
Yeah, so, cool.
Yeah, so all in white. And, you'll be able to have beer, pop, kombucha if we can get that. Talk to them.
Okay.
And just anything you can have in a keg.
Okay. So, but it will have beer.
Yeah, mostly we can't sell or transport it ourselves just with, liquor laws and licenses and everything like that. But, yeah, it's something if you have the keg, I have the trailer. So
got it. So you can hook it up through there. Because the mocktails is no hard liquor.
No hard liquor at all.
Right.
No.
Okay. Got you. That makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with the tap trailer, like I said, we'll drop it off. We supply the ice, the jockey box, and then the CO2 for you.
Yep.
So all that, we just drop it.
Because there's nobody manning that. It's just there. You pull your cup, pull the tap, fill it up.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So, and we'll have different options too that we'll try and find personalized taps for weddings.
Yeah.
I have a friend up in mine in Fargo. We'll have bottle cap openers.
Oh, cool.
And customize, try and do a whole thing for you.
Yeah, sure. So your wedding, your event, whatever.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so then that's the tap trailer more or less. But then the Mockies pull behind trailer, right? Because that'll be a pull behind trailer?
Yep, that's going to be a pull behind. We just have to go get it.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're looking at a couple different ones right now. There's one in Oklahoma, one in Texas, one in Georgia.
Okay. It's how far you want to drive.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. And, what meets health code.
Yeah.
We do have the canopy and the bar as well as, all the setups so we could just go out if we need to. But
got it.
Just with certain codes, we have to shoot for the trailer.
Yep.
Have less of a headache.
So a canopy setup though is different than the rate. Like, what's the difference? I don't understand.
Well, the trailer, we still have to have the 3 sinks and plus the hand washing sink.
Yep.
We could still pull everywhere just like we can the portable, but at the end of the day, it's just ordinances.
Got it. So the canopy trailer is still a trailer.
The canopy is not a trailer.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's just the portable bar.
So, got you. So it's not on wheels.
No, not
that
on wheels.
You would put in the back of your truck.
Yep.
And then you would just pop up a canopy.
Yep.
Oh, I understand. Okay,
yep.
so it's not a trailer.
No, it's not a trailer. That's where the difference is.
I got you.
And that's kind of where we can still operate, but
I understand. So that's I was a little confused.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm glad that you explained it. I'm sure others would be as well. But it makes sense. So the canopy is literally a canopy.
Yeah.
I was thinking like a trailer that had a canopy.
Oh no.
And I'm like, how come if a trailer has a canopy, that one can only operate certain times but a trailer that has no canopy can operate anyway. So that's what I was confused about.
Yeah. I wasn't more clear on that.
Yeah, so. No worries. It makes sense.
So,
cool.
Yep.
Okay, so get the trailer, get it rocking. I'd love for you to tell the story though of why would someone do this?
Yeah. So
why would someone start this business, I guess?
Yeah.
Why would they use it? Why would someone start this business? Tell that story.
Yeah. So what happened was we're doing Rescue Palooza.
Okay.
And that was an event that we were using to fundraise for different animal rescues in the area. And we ended up getting 6 of them.
6 different pet rescues?
Yep. 2 cat, 4 dogs.
Where does Rescue Palooza, or where did it take place?
Down at the Amy Stockburger real estate office.
Sure. Okay.
So at that time, a lot of people were requesting drinks.
Yeah.
And mocktails was pretty heavy on there.
Yeah.
And, otherwise it's pop, water. Yep. And, a lot of the food trucks, I reached out to the food truck I had, and they had pop water.
Yep.
We were hoping to have, a couple hundred at that event.
Yeah.
We didn't reach it.
Yeah.
But
it's first one. It takes time.
First annual, they say always kind of stinks. Well, it is what it is. But so I reached out to get you coffee, but I still, I talked to several different bars. I went downtown. Yeah. Went in person. No,
trying to get them non-alcoholic mocktail setup.
Yeah. To come down. And, I hope for a couple hundred people. We're just shy of 100.
Yeah.
I can look at the day and say, well, that's part of the reason. But at the same time, first annual, we'll get through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Years. But, I was pretty shocked as to why that just because you couldn't serve alcohol that you would not want to come down to an event.
Yeah.
And maybe I just didn't try enough bars.
Sure.
Maybe 8, 9, 10 of them isn't enough.
Yeah.
But, So I thought, well, kind of, I'll do it myself.
Sure.
We got to thinking about it. It's like such an easy thing. It was so requested, or so many people requested it.
Yeah.
Vendors that we had, they were requested it.
Yeah.
I thought, screw it. We'll do it ourselves.
We'll do it ourselves. So explain to me, and I think I get it, but in case I don't, a mocktail. Like, what is a mocktail?
Well, a mocktail is a mixed drink. So if you, let's say, outside of your standard Shirley Temple or what is it, Roy Rogers, something like that.
Yep.
A drink that, let's say, you want a margarita or Bloody Mary is a prime example. Is you could still make all those drinks. You just don't have to put the vodka in it. You don't have to put the various alcohols in.
Got it. Yep.
So,
makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. The cocktail without the alcohol.
Yep.
Cool. And so that is what Mockies Mocktails will be.
Yeah.
And the plan is to be at all of the different events so that people have an option that's non-alcoholic.
Yep. And that's something, when we were talking a little bit ago, Levitt, I'd love to see if we can't talk to someplace like Levitt or be downtown for some of those major events that, depending on what they have, not everybody, everybody discusses it for health, fitness reasons, everything, not everybody wants alcohol.
Yeah.
Or can have alcohol. And that's what we hope to bring.
Yeah. And I think that we talked a little bit too, like why, when you give up alcohol, which different people that are in my sphere of friends group.
Yep.
It seems to be like giving up alcohol is kind of like more of a common theme than it used to be, for many different reasons. But it can be for the reason that it's, a health reason. It could be just a personal reason. It could be a religious reason. It could be, there's many different reasons why someone might not have it. And it doesn't matter the reason. But what matters is that, hey, the option or what's available when you are there, if you don't want to have an alcoholic drink, but you don't want to just have like the pop or whatever too. So I think that could be definitely something that is very fun. And you're currently, you said, kind of on the hunt, since this is a new business, on the hunt for more of a health style drink or a fitness style drink to kind of have available at your trailer or at your events.
That's the goal, definitely, because what we're going to do is start out, a lot of bars that I've researched, when they're mobile, they'll bring everything. They'll stock up like a normal bar. We don't want to do that, because then you have a lot of wasted product, or, just in general, more of a headache and more on hand in the inventory. Well, we're going to trim it down a little bit. Give everything kind of a test run, maybe keep 10 to 20 items on a menu. And, try and get our sweet and salty or bitter or whatever, and then have that health option, and, find a pup cup out there for something for our pet families and stuff out there too. But we want to have something for everybody. And, I was 360 pounds at one point. I'm still working my way down. I'm under 300 right now, but
good job. It's over 60 pounds lost, man.
Let's go. That's a lot.
A ton.
A couple of my boys, just
absolutely.
So, but I mean, I know there's a lot, going through what we did, 2019 through 2021, 2022, people, opened their eyes a little bit more, became more conscious of what's going on and what they're putting,
in their body.
And that's a big thing. And, it's, if you don't realize that now, you're already, as a business, I think in my mind, you're already falling behind. And I don't want to be that business that falls behind. Be innovative, and the health is such a big craze right now. And, being a guy that was 360 pounds. It
weighs on
it sucks.
It weighs on you. Pardon the pun, but it weighs on you.
And, you feel it in your knees. They always said you'll feel it in your knees first, kind of. And that is for sure. And, getting out there and seeing the benefit of that. And I want to try and make sure we can make that happen.
What has been the way that you were able to drop 60 pounds?
That was through my former business, a lot of that.
Because you're walking a ton.
Walking, lifting, repetitive motion, a lot of hills in Sioux Falls.
So
we live on the prairie. I grew up in Southwest Minnesota. It's a little bit more flat. Around Sioux Falls, but a lot of walking. And just the walking, the difference that can make. You go for many years, you're on meds or anything else, you become
sedentary.
You are just a couch potato. So it's just getting out there and actually starting. And
what's wild is you mentioned the walking. I shot a podcast with Waylon, and he was talking about his 75 hard journey. And one of the things I asked him, I was like, hey, give a tip to maybe anyone watching or listening. And he said, don't underestimate the power of walking. Because with 75 hard, you have to do 2 workouts a day. And one of he decided to be a 45-minute walk, run, jog. But more times than not, he admitted it would be a walk, because 2 workouts a day, 45, that's a lot. But it'd be a walk. And he said just the benefit of daily walking helped him drop. And he's dropped a ton of weight as well. And now you're saying just the benefit of walking. So if you're watching or listening, don't ignore the benefit from walking. And it's free. You don't gotta you don't need a gym membership. You don't need a gym equipment. You don't even need any high-end type of gear to go walk.
Exactly. And there's a lot of businesses out there that you can go do or start. And you could do a lot start.
So did you lose your 60? Because you had it was Poo Burglars, right? Is what it was called? Okay. Did you start losing that weight when you started that business, and it was like a 2-year journey?
A lot of that was during that time.
Okay.
I did find myself going back up again.
Sure.
But then may have been, I'm a little bit, I got back to where I'm a little bit, more solid, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And muscle build back up again.
Yeah.
I couldn't find my words, but I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
And then we started to go back down again. But
yeah.
When I started that, it was getting to the point where, okay, my wife told me the other day, actually, she goes, well, I'm really happy where you're at and where you're going.
Yeah.
I'm still wearing that 3-4. I like my shirts a little longer.
Yeah.
But I was able to put an Under Armour sweatshirt on that was a 2X.
Oh, yeah.
And it's right on the bottom. So it's like, God dang it. That's that feels great. But she goes, yeah, it was getting to the point where I was ordering you shirts for your work.
Yeah.
But I went 4X and then I was going 4X tall. And then you're not fitting into 4X tall anymore. I'm having to look at 5X. And then you just right down, you went the opposite direction. Yeah.
And like you said, the difference that made you feel, I'm sure the mental clarity, energy levels for your kids, for your family. I say this, and I talk about this with our head coach of our West location. Fitness is kind of the gateway drug to a better life. Because it does, you start working out, you start losing weight, you start getting healthier, and next thing you know, you've got a better mindset, you got more energy, you're doing more with the family, because you've got how many kids?
Well, I have one.
You have one.
I said a couple of my boys earlier, I realize that now, but him, he's 30 pounds.
Well, you got one and then maybe a dog boy or something.
Burgo.
Yeah, there you go. What is the dog's name?
Burgo.
Burgo, okay. Very cool. Very cool. What kind of dog is it?
He's a Shepherd-Doodle, so he's definitely high energy.
So that was a couple of boys. That's why you said couple of boys.
Yeah, couple of boys,
I was shooting a podcast just the other week, and we were talking about with Greg Koch from 605 Running, and we were talking about marathon, like long distance running, and I was telling him that my daughter just signed up for cross country, and then as we were talking, I did the same thing. Actually, she just signed up for track. So as you're shooting the podcast, sometimes your mind goes crazy. So when you say two boys, I knew what you meant. The one human boy and the one dog boy. Yeah. I love it. But so Mockies Mocktails, it does, like you said earlier, the Rescue Palooza was kind of the rescue event that you started, and that sounds like it started 2022.
2023. So
23. We're in 24 now. See, there we go.
So we do plan on having the second annual this year.
Okay.
We might not have it at the same location. We talked to a couple different locations. Just to allow pets out there.
So Rescue Palooza is something you're passionate about. You're passionate about rescue pets. You kind of mentioned that. Is there any specific reason that you're passionate about rescue pets, or what's like?
Well, and part of it, everybody tends to get along with animals a whole lot better. They're a lot friendlier. And they're always going to be at your side.
Yeah, they're always happy to see you.
Yeah,
you come home, they're always wagging their tail.
Yeah, except the cats. But I love the cats still. Yeah. But just growing up with animals. I grew up on a farm. One stigma a lot of farmers get is we don't care for animals. We're just it's a bad stigma, and I could go for days on that. But a lot of farmers just love animals. And to set that aside too, my upbringing, I told you a little bit about that, a child of domestic violence. So you lose faith in people pretty quick. But an animals always tend to be at your side to defend you, to comfort you. And a lot of these rescue animals, going through like what my mom and I did back in the day, people that have foster animals or rescue animals, they go through a lot of the same story, or a heck of a lot worse than I ever did. Looking at what some of the dogs from Sioux Empire Pit Rescue went through, or 605 Boxer, or some of those, it's just amazing and hear their story and how they can come back and be the best dogs in the world. So
and so you said with like the Rescue Palooza event, Rescue Palooza?
Rescue Palooza.
You plan to have then Mockies Mocktail at the event. And that'll be awesome. So looking forward to kind of learning more about when that'll be. And I think with that, as you said, the first annual anything is always, what comes to my mind is our Murphy event. So the Murphy event is like a fitness event where you run a mile and then you do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and run another mile. So something that we'll probably do after the show. Now, you and I will go get one done. Probably not.
But I could roll it. But
hey, we'll help each other get through it. But the first time we ever did that, I think we had most of the people that showed up worked at the gym, and then a couple of clients. I think there was maybe 10, 15 of us. Okay. Now we run that, and that was probably 2018-ish when we ran the first one. But now we do it yearly, and now we have usually over 100 people show up to do that. And last year we had some people travel up from Brookings to do it with us. So it does it compounds over time. Yep. And so even like this, now I know about Rescue Palooza. Now these people that are watching us and our friends are watching us and listening to us, they know about Rescue Palooza, and it's just repetition over time. And I think that's a good kind of, with this being the health and fitness podcast, and a lot of health and fitness tips have to do with mindset, living a better life. And I think that'd be a great tip kind of for our audience today is that anything that you start, there's going to be difficult things. And the first time you do something isn't going to be easy. I'm sure when you first started the Poo Burglars, that wasn't easy.
Yeah, no, we like I said, we started that from nothing. And it was the old fashioned, hey, I'm going to walk this neighborhood. Yep. I'm going, and that was...
More walking.
Yeah, more walking. Yeah. We got the kid out, Riker, he was only, not even one at the time when I started that business. And then it was going to businesses, putting business cards out. Yep. And through making connections and networking, the power of networking, you really see that. Yeah. And it's just getting through that. And, Eric Gould got me in touch with Brandon Vitos over at Amy Stockburger, and that's how we ended up there.
Cool. I was actually just messaging Eric, I think yesterday. Oh, really? I didn't know that Eric had a podcast.
I did not either.
I found out that he does. And so he's like, hey, it's a dad podcast about dads. And so he's like, hey, let's get you on the dad podcast. But I bought my truck from Eric. Okay. And then my dad had bought a truck from Eric. Eric's a good dude.
Yeah, he's good. I feel bad I bought a Ford. I didn't buy it from him though. But
come on, man. Hey,
sorry, Eric.
We got to help. The whole world has to go around, right? I actually have a Ford too, but it was used. So it was on, I think, a Vernite lot, I think. No. Oh, no, I lied. It was on a Billion lot.
Oh, yeah, because he's at Billion.
He's at Billion. Yep. Just cool, the power of networking and how these connections happen. Because like I was telling you, right before you and I started shooting this episode, which I just met you a month ago randomly at a networking event.
Yeah, we have 25 minutes of knowing each other, roughly.
Yeah, total. And here we are. But right before we shot this episode, I was meeting with another gal that I just met, Janelle, and she runs it's called 605 Throwdown or Throwdown 605. It's a hip hop workout. But she said that there's nothing to do for the people or the community that want to go and be active at night. Other than like bars, right? Like that's kind of the thing. Yep. And so she said that her idea with the 605 Throwdown, I think she has a location or a spot at the Britza dance studio here in town, which I was unfamiliar with, but I found out about it now. But she's like, and she didn't know I was meeting with you. Yeah. But she goes, I'm kind of like looking, it's going to be like a little later in the evening. I'm kind of looking for some type of like non-alcoholic bar to possibly be there. Yep. And I'm like, did you somehow see my calendar and know that I'm meeting with Dustin that has a non-alcoholic bar? And then as she was leaving, you guys got to connect. Yep. And so it is just connections and being out there that helps make this world go round. Yeah. So as Mockies Mocktails, when do you plan to have your first event or your first thing that you're at?
The first thing I'm at is down at Amy Stockburger's office. Okay. So it's like a full circle going through there.
Yeah, no doubt.
We're just going down there to serve some drinks and then do a little 5-minute talk about who we are. Okay. They do that every now and then. We did that with Poo Burglars. Yeah. I wore a bright orange polo and, 360 pounds. I was a big pumpkin. But
big pumpkin. So,
that's our first little one.
Okay. Is that open to the public or no?
No, not
That's a private event. Okay.
Private, and then I want to go set up my canopy. Yeah. But if my trailer's ready, and I narrow down which one of the 3 states I'm going, I'm going to take off and do that. Okay. And then go set up and start setting up at random different points around town like a normal food truck does. Yep. And then we're going to work to get into more events. Sure. The third, I have to reach out to a different Eric. Yep. Just to verify that hey, they want me to come to their independent group. Sure. Like a BNI. Sure. But some of those just
Different events like that.
Yep.
So if our watchers, listeners, viewers, if they wanted to learn more about Mockies Mocktails, where would they go? How would they find out about you?
Well, they could go to our socials,
Okay.
Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Our posts have been a little limited right now getting started. Then we have mockiesmocktails.com.
Okay.
Still have some more editing on that, but it is up.
It is up and running now?
Yep, it is up and running. We have some tweaking to do to that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
I always say take imperfect action.
Yep.
If you would have waited for that website to be perfect before you launched it, you probably would never launch it.
Yep.
And that's actually how I launched this podcast. This actually room that we're sitting in here, it wasn't even ready yet. It had cement floor. I think the sound is awful. But if you go find the first I think, or it's the second episode, I think, because I did one, and then the second one was on taking imperfect action. Because I was like, if I don't take action and just shoot this episode and get it out there, sound quality, awful. I didn't even have like the microphones and stuff or the sound, like it was bad. But you just do it.
Yeah.
Right? So mockiesmocktail.com.
Yep.
And how do you spell Mockies?
Mockies.
Mockies.
Yes.
And then mocktails.
Yep.
Okay. How do you spell mocktails?
Mocktails. So,
okay.
I mean,
Lots of M's, lots of CKs, but mockiesmocktails.com. And you can find more. And then what's your handle or the name on Facebook and Instagram?
All Mockies Mocktails.
Mockies Mocktails.
Okay. Mockies Mocktails and Taps Sioux Falls on Instagram. And
cool.
Yeah. So pretty easy to find us.
Well, I love it. Dustin, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come chat about this. I think that it's just going to be cool to have another option in Sioux Falls. And I think it's cool that you do private events, you do big events. And so, if you're watching or listening and you want something private event, I mean, maybe do you do like birthdays and stuff even?
Yeah, we'll get into everything. You call, we'll talk to you.
We'll make it happen.
So, we have one for a school on January 14th of 2025 already. So,
oh man. So you're ready to go, baby.
Yeah, 12 months in advance, we're ready.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Cool. Well, I love it. Like I said, I appreciate you taking the time. You guys, I mean, you've got so many different things that you could be doing, but the fact that you took the time to watch or listen to this episode, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for making the Fit and Healthy Sioux Falls podcast even happen. So like, subscribe, and share this episode, and know that we'll catch you on the next episode of the Fit and Healthy Sioux Falls podcast. Bye, you guys. Peace.